Hey everybody, welcome to Board Game Heaven. My name is Raymond, and in this episode I'll do an unboxing of The Chains That Rust, an expansion for Descent Journeys in the Dark 2nd edition by Fantasy Flight Games. So let's quickly open up the box, see what's inside. So the Chains That Rust expansion for Descent 2nd edition. Cover of the box shows some cool looking animated skeletons and some cultists, it seems. It looks pretty nice, pretty dark and creepy. We have some flavor text here to tell you what the game is about, what this expansion brings. It has some pictures of the components. It has 8 new plastic monster figures, and the contents are listed here. So let's open up the box. Okay, so there is a leaflet, a catalog of new games featuring Keyforge here, X-Wing, well, all kinds of games by Fantasy Flight, which is always nice to browse through. Then we have the rules booklet, so let's take a look at that. It lists all of the components here, the expansion setup, the rules, some new terrain pieces, walls we get here, crumbling terrain. We have the introduction of hybrid classes, new relic types, tainted cards, the expansion symbol, and then the monster description. So we have 3 new monsters here, the dispossessed, the shambling colossi, isn't that colossi? And the marrow priests. Then we got 3 new lieutenants, for which we sadly do not get the miniatures in this box, but I do believe these miniatures are the same as in one of the other expansions, Mists of Bilehall perhaps. So yeah, and we have the campaign log here, and then the campaign, the quests themselves. Now to set them up, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 even. So yeah, pretty cool. Plenty of new quests to play and a nice map on the back. I mean, these expansions always have some really good artwork, and they are well presented. Presentation for Descent has always been great. So let me show you the tiles. I'll just open this up real quick. Okay, so let's take a look at these. I'll just put that over here so I can look at the names of all the cards later. So we've got some outside terrain with kind of like a pit. I'm not sure if that's water or just muck. And yeah, it looks nice. I always like the art on these terrain tiles, and the dots, the dotted lines kind of tell you if there's a difference in height or if there's water or some other difficult terrain. Like here, these red lines, these are statues, and you can pass through those squares. So these are all inside locations, rooms. So that looks nice. Second punch board has more of these outdoor areas. Some of these tokens. And on the other side, more indoor. There's even a diagonal alley here. And the green lines tell you where it stops, so you can stand on these spots. So yeah, looks nice. And the third punch board has a big outdoor graveyard here, it seems, with some holes that were dug up. And there's a drawbridge there. There's a river. And on the inside, we have some sewage there. This looks like a desecrated tomb. And a big pit. Some chains on the wall. A prison. Really cool. Then we get the tokens for those 3 lieutenants that sadly are not included. Those come in the separate lieutenant packs that I'm not a fan of. And we have some more outdoor areas here, some walls, some corners, some of these tokens, and some health tokens as well. And on the other side we have more indoor corridors and rooms. On the map there on the table. Here's like an entrance or starting tile. Okay. Next we get some cards. So let's see what new cards we get. We get cards for a new class, the Monk. So we have those. We have the Battle Mage. We have the Steel Caster. Interesting. We have the Watchman. So those are these 4 new classes when combining classes, I believe it said in the rulebook. We have some Terrified condition cards, which also had their own tokens. We have a Scourge card. So that also has a token, so that's a monster that's represented by a token. We have some shop items, so the Sash of the Slayer, the Fists of Iron, Horn Shield, Blessed Armor, several of those. All right. And we have these, what are they? Let's see what this is. Tainted cards, they call them. All right. And finally these unique items, these relics with a light side and a dark side, as it were. So then we have some of these larger cards. So we have the Dungeon Master cards, events and traps and magic, whatnot. Danse Macabre. Cool. We have these road event cards, traveling event cards. That's just 2 of them. We have these lieutenant cards, these 3 here, double-sided. And we have the monster cards. So we have the Dispossessed. For these, there are miniatures in the box. We have the Shambling Colossus and the Marrow Priest. All right, so let's take a look at those miniatures, shall we? I'll just put them in the box and show them one by one. So this is the Marrow Priest. So he's got a huge staff with antlers and a skull. Looks pretty nice. He's holding a skull. There's plenty of detail on these. It's also a little bit bigger, I think, than others, or at least it seems so. Maybe it's just a staff. That's a nicely detailed miniature. Looks pretty good. So we get, let's see, just one of those and one elite version, the red version of the same sculpt. All right. Then we have this Dispossessed, like ghost-like mini. That is like a swirling cloud of ectoplasm with hands and mostly hands and 3 skulls at the end. I don't know if you can see that pretty well because it's pretty light, but I'll show the red one. So maybe that will show a little bit more of the detail there in that sculpt. So that's pretty nice. So you get 2 regular ones and 1 red version. And then we have this Shambling Colossus, which is a big skeletal construct with some extra bones or wood. I don't know. I think that's wood, kind of like strapped on. So just enhanced skeletons on a bigger base. Also really nicely detailed. I like the rib cage, all the cloth and bandages. The skull itself is pretty cool with the big jaw. And I'll just show the red one as well, in case that will show you more detail on camera. Yep, looks nice enough, nice and big. So that is everything you will find in this expansion, The Chains That Rust.
And so that was my unboxing of the Chains That Rust, an expansion for Descent Journeys in the Dark 2nd edition by Fantasy Flight Games. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you hit the bell icon, you'll also get a notification every time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Board Game Heaven.